Hello and welcome. This vibrational harmony light language attunement is to assist one in recognizing where one is in relationship to disorder. What I call this sympathy for the devil. Ahashana asheine atemone ahatana, or how it's been received for me. This within the sympathetic nervous system, within our physical body, and how our physical body responds to what is occurring external to us. So how we are connected into, let's say, this power and control system, right? How we are connected into it. So releasing out of it, and coming into this vibrational harmony within oneself. So this recognition where we are experiencing this sympathy for the devil, right? This relationship with disorder. Ahashana ateine atemone ahatana. So how do we relate to something that is happening outside of us, like that internal experience that we are then having? That is what we're looking at. Ahashana ashemone ateine ateine. So how we relate to something external to us. Ahashana asheine atemone ahatana. So opening up to receive healing for this support within your energy field. Ahashana ateine atemone ahatana ashene ashene ashene. So this is like this complex system within oneself in how we really open ourselves up to mind control. Ahashana ashene atemone ahatana atene atene, or where we have not fully freed our mind, you could say, where we are still in relationship, you could say, the sympathy for the devil. And I had received those terms, sympathy for the devil, and I'm a Rolling Stones fan, so I love classic rock. So I went, and it's so funny, a lot has been coming up regarding music. So I went and I know the lyrics, I know the song, and I wanted to understand the origin, right? So, how was the song written, the history behind it. And so I had looked it up, and, the band had essentially, I don't remember who said what, but, they had just started to, talk a little bit about it and some of the things that were mentioned in the song. And, you had things like, I think it was like Tiananmen Square, and all these major events that you can think of within the history, right? Within history itself. These different events, right? These different events, and how they reveal things. And this how this happens essentially, and what they are bringing awareness to, you could say, within this song, is how we, and what you can also see occurring, within our current reality, is this projecting this version of reality out that really is not real, or perhaps not even being aware of this happening right somewhere. When we are closed off from the world, closed off from other things, so to say. When we are locked within a specific paradigm, let's say. And so as one begins to open to the ability to shift, paradigms, right? One is able to see how we are complacent within a system. And one is able to, through that recognition, create change from within oneself. So this releasing out of this old, something that's like literally held within the body, this not being within awareness of all things, not being within that space of empowerment within all things, almost like, where perhaps you're just, watching things, but rather than recognizing that you are, you have the ability, you have the potential within yourself to see things from a higher perspective. So not reaching out to this external source, perhaps, or reaching out to an external source, but within your own internal reference system. It's, allowing for that release to, birth one into that new ability, really. So it's where we hold this constriction in our energy field. I was looking into the significance of the wrist and the right wrist, that chakra there, because it had come up for me in a session, and this receiving in of this energy into this space. And so I was just trying to see within my mind, right? I was trying to envision this space. You could say almost, create those neural pathways for me to understand, okay, the significance of this space. But it was within that internal source alignment to that external. So searching, okay, so I'm looking for something specific, just something that I can connect to in order to see how perhaps that, it's like a map, like being able to map it within one's energy field within, but bring that into the physical body, so that expression, allowing that divine expression to come through, really. And then sourcing that receiving as well, that ability to receive in one's own essence, really, one's own energy, to support and assist. So the I have no idea what that was what that was for, but it's just this return to, okay, so now I'm being brought back. So it's this return to this ability to allow this energy to move through one's body, this flow, this universal flow, this and when we're holding on to things, right, then things are not flowing the way that they are intended to. So this is where we experience this disharmony. you know, and where we experience like this herd mentality, which is what you're seeing also out within the collective, is this it's just really just this false projection of reality out onto things, you know. But the thing, we all do this, right? This is natural, this is normal to project things, right? Because this is just how we kind of create, right? This is, you know. And as we work with this internally sourced system, and then we, you know, begin to really fine tune that power or that ability, is what we're looking at here. But this, so, you know, we kind of, you know, we want to understand, right? And so we, you know, project this idea, you know, this reality, this idea, whatever it may be, and we kind of just feel through it. We feel through it, and we eventually, you know, within you could say, how, you know, almost like optimal, let's say optimal, within the optimal. But what happens within these like other systems is it's kind of like it's oppressed on you, right? It's like it's really the subversion. It's almost like the subversion of subversive systems. It's when it's like the process itself, also how people get lured into it. And it works on your like wounding, right? That program. It's like you get lured into it. As a light being, it may be because you want to understand what's happening, right? And so you go into it, and then, you know, eventually you wake up to that understanding within it. Like the understanding of what is happening. What is truly happening here? What is really happening behind the scenes? So that's what we're looking for, like that internally sourced self. That desire, and then the ability to also, you know, come back within and recognize, you know, one's own power within the situation, and bringing awareness perhaps to something. But it's this using this, you know, right when we're working with like in proper energetic synthesis, you could say, it's like creating this, you know, shared reality, really, but within this internally sourced system, from within this internally sourced system, you could say. So it's the alignment to others who are within the same level of consciousness. So it's that like connection to those, reconnection to those and I have no idea where I'm going with this because this is so over. But this I feel like I'm just processing through something. I don't even know if I want to share this. All right, well, we'll just see where it goes. Let's just do that. So that it's like holding like a group vision, right? Holding like just a universal vision, really. Holding the vision of the, all that is within awareness, and also within that stillness of creation, and just harmonizing within that stillness of creation. That understanding of that. That all already is still and complete, and when we are in harmony with that, those internal rhythms, right? When we're in harmony with our physical bodies, right? So almost in the sense of really designing your own ultimate reality. Right? What kind of life do you desire? What kind of partnership do you desire? What kind of life do you desire? And just, creating that, through creating the container for that. And receiving from that. And it's that vision, that visualization that you can bring into the physical body. At this time. So almost this I just see it as this like reclamation of this internal harmony. Just this recognition of the all that is, right? Through your own energetic experiences. So it's really just like being in your full capacity range. Ahashana atene ashemone ahatana achene achene atene ahatana ashemone achene atene atene. So releasing out of that, it feels like there's a lot of divine masculine here to receive at this time. Ahashana atene atemone ahatana ashemone ashemone ashemone. So just feeling into that right now. So within that, return to balance, right? The recognition of the all that is. Just beginning to hold that within one's space at this time. Ahashana ashemone ashene ashene ashene. Good. So these old, like, it's like I just see like all of the old plays, the old dramas, all of that just releasing out. Ahashana ashene atemone ahatana ashene ashemone akana achana ashemone atene atene. So just being within one's own true empowerment. Ahashana atemone ateine. Within the highest sense. Ahashana ashemone asheine ateine atemone. Ahatana asheine ashine. Good, good, good. Allowing that to be received into one's body. So this release out of this again, trying to look at it now. This sympathy for the devil, this old this old containment system is what it's being shown to me now as. Ahashana ateine ashemone. So releasing out of this old containment system, and then, yes, returning to this primordial source origin, and this, reclamation of oneself, this Ahashana ashene atemone. Ahashana ashene atemone ashene. So this original tone of being. Ahashana ashemone atene atene atene. So this allowing one to receive that. Okay, so this releasing out of this sympathy, this old containment system, and then, returning into this, source origin point. It's almost like the way it's being shown to me, it's like the beginning of a new fractal, the convergence of things, and then that birthing of the new, you could say. It's like an emergence, one could say. And then this new, right, this creation of this, like, connecting to, like, this universal container, really. Ahashana ashemone ashene ashene ashene. This universal container of creation, this stillness of creation. Ahashana ashemone ashene 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 ashene. So it reminds me of, like, so when a baby is born, right, they have been in the womb space, and when the baby is born, it takes a minute for the baby to, begin to start to create these circadian rhythms, and they go to the mother for this for the comfort, right, to receive this nourishment in, really. So if a mother is not, fully within her own rhythms and within her own balance, right, when we have these hormonal balances, and we also have, the lack of the support for the breastfeeding, and there's so many different things that go into motherhood, and without getting into all the details, and this is just from this almost like this loss of really awareness. So bringing the awareness back to this is this so, like, because of, you could say, the artificial systems that we live within, maybe those, like, 24/7 clock systems, right, our jobs, our 9 to 5s, right, that aren't necessarily in balance with, like, our natural circadian rhythms, when we used to maybe perhaps work the land, when we we're more in touch with the land, like recognizing the wisdom within those nature systems and nature wisdom, bringing that to return to oneself. Ahashana ashemone ashine ashine ashine. So back to this, this child. So they so you really want to find this way to create this connection for them. So, very often, like, I will teach my mothers, like, ritual, like, create these night rituals, right? These associations. So, these, to kind of create these natural rhythms, right? These natural harmonies, to work within that framework, right? Of recognizing that, right, when our container isn't well, one could say, then when we are not within our own circadian rhythm, then everything's going to be off, right? When we're not filling up our cup, everything's going to be off. When we are not resting when we're meant to, everything's going to be off. When we're not eating when we're meant to, everything's going to be off. It's that idea. So this reset to these natural, harmonious internal rhythms. So it's something that I encourage, like, postpartum, like, I'm allowing, but we're so, the way our electrical systems, you could say, we're used to, running off of something. So as we're able to release out and we're able to release into this internal harmony, so sourcing from this internal harmony, this creation of this internal harmony, and then allowing that outward creation to begin to really present itself, so that right, that expansion of that primordial creation, expanding into creation itself from this internally sourced space. So it's like this reciprocity also within this movement, right? We need this movement within stillness. We need this movement within stillness as well to allow for creation. So connecting to these moon energies, right? We need to realize, to allow, and to adapt. And so really, returning to these, resetting these internal source systems back to this original harmony within, how our bodies are meant to be. Not where, we're programmed with diets, right? So we're not really healthy within the mind, so creating these healthy mindsets, this mindfulness, and fully saying no to that, other stuff, one could say. So this reset. Right, as we release out of this old, you could say this old, like, parasympathetic, sympathetic, old bonding systems. So the old way that we would hold relationship, right, to something. Ahashana asheine atemone, ahashana asheine asheine asheine. Kind of this old empathic system that may have been like, I had recognized this the other day. It was, in this that would produce this disharmony when I was clearing through some mother, right? Some mother, my relationship to my mother. And I had recognized in how I would be in relationship, right, to her. Because you have to understand, you cannot change the other, right? When you go into this space, okay, first I can, it's these layers. Okay, I understand I cannot change my mother's behavior, and I take a step back. So I cannot change her. I do love my mother, but there is this pattern that is continuing to occur. And I know, that it is this old program, right, which is essentially abusive, right? It is abusive. It is my mother engages in abusive behavior, right? Her behavior, the way, and recognizing also, so like, to me, that was, so I had this disharmonious rhythm within my physical body, right? Of having to, and work through various layers in order to fully heal, right? Heal this way I am in relationship, right, to my mother, to this energy. Yes, I forgive my mother, and yes, I unconditionally love my mother. I understand, my mother's, I understand things, right? I understand, but I still will not allow this to continue. And because I recognize my empowerment within this situation, so for me, it's also recognizing, okay, so I have to allow I have to allow myself space to, really re-regulate my own self. This mother connection, right? This disharmonious mother connection. And I had recognized that, and it was this really like subtle, right? That was getting down to the really, really subtle levels of clearing through this connection. And like this pattern, right? And, which is really just me not being in right relationship with myself. Right? And so having to come into right relationship with myself, right, first, and then to shift forward that, right, that recognition there. And so it was this, what was it? Maybe I'm not meant to share, but it's this very, very subtle level of something that was occurring. Maybe I'm meant to share in a later video or something once I fully clear it. But it's really that, right, all is like this, you could say this dark mother source, right? And so like recalibrating to this divine mother source, right? So reconnection to this divine mother. Ahashana ashene atemone ahadana ashene ashoyini ashene. And you really create this within oneself. Ahashana atemone ashene ashene ashene. And then you begin to vibrate in harmony with it. Ahashana ashemone ashene ashene. So this reconnection to the Divine Mother. Ahashana within oneself. Ashene atemone ahadana ashene ashene ashene. Good. So just breathing that in deeply and releasing out anything that is not in harmonic resonance with that. So as we heal our own wounds, then we are able to truly, you could say, heal that space with others. Ahashana ashemone, or hold that space with others. Atene ashene atemone ahadana ashene ashene ashene. Good. So again, releasing out this old system of where we are in disharmony. Ahashana ashene atemone ahadana ashemone atene ashene, with our own internal rhythms. Where we are out of balance. Ahashana ashene atemone ahadana, where we are not in harmony with the feminine. Ahashana ashemone atene ashene ashene. So really healing of this union within oneself. Ahashana ashemone ashene. So where this lies within oneself. Ahashana ashemone ashene. This recognition, this realization of harmony. Ahatana ateine atemone. Ahatana. Allowing that to be. Ashemone. Allowing that clearing to arrive. Ahashana atemone. Asheine. 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 And I almost feel this, like just this devotion energy, like really allowing one to receive that. Ahashana ashemone ateine ateine. So devotion to one's journey, devotion to oneself, that recognition of what you are, you know, allowing yourself to receive, receiving yourself into. Ahashana, Ashemone, Ashene, Ashene, Ashene. Good, good, good. And allowing this to be, and so it is.